Good evening, everybody. Is it a good evening? I don't know. Phillies lose 8-3 to the Marlins in a pretty embarrassing, fashion. You are watching the Fightins final on It's a Rap Sports Network. I am Steve, typical Tuesday night host for the final. Um, and this one's a little weird, right? You have how will Rob's Castellanos benching affect this club's the environment? Um, I don't think it's going to go over well, and I feel like it already kind of trickled into into tonight's game. Uh, through 2 innings, the Phillies bats were horrible, lethargic. Luzardo wasn't in command of his pitches really all night. He got through it. You had they got down early. You had the 2-run home run from Wagman, bomb, and then Turner in the fourth. He got his ninth home run of the season. Turner is about the only Philly who did anything um, much tonight. Uh, but I think this loss goes on Rob on 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 the manager. This was an embarrassing loss to a bad Marlins team, right? Um, Division opponent. This should have been a 4-game series sweep. It You can't bench. I don't care. You can bench him. You can sit him. I would have preferred a fine. You could have kept this in house, right? You could have kept the media didn't know about this last night, other than the fact that he was benched, right? This came out because the Phillies let it come out. It didn't need to. Um, and it sucks. Let's get into some of these comments. They're coming in. Hubert, what's going on, dude? It's going to be unpleasant. So he finally wants to try and be a manager. Yeah. And sits Castellanos last night in the 8th for defensive Rojas improvement. Nick gets mouthy, and Thompson says he crossed the line. Thompson ends Nick's streak and starts as punishment and sits him. Yeah, it starts as punishment, but tolerates everything. Then you listen to unprofessional conduct of Phillies all night. Luzardo's mom's birthday, starting against old team, has a party to get to and throws 103 in 5+ while erratic walking a career high 4. JT tough call and reverts to getting hung. Yeah, it was a rough night for Luzardo. He was not sharp at all. What was his? Let me pull up his stat line. He 5 innings pitch. I don't think he should have come out for the 6th, but I mean, in Rob's defense, what are you going to do? You're going to put the trust the bullpen. Hopefully it's one of those nights, but it wasn't. Luzardo 5-inning pitch, 6 hits, and then triple fours, 4 in runs, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, 103 pitches as the super stated, and an ERA up to 4. So bad pitching night. Was it because of the locker room environment from the benching of Nick? Who knows? But it can't be good. Can't be good. Good vibes in there right now. Star Wars checking in. What's going on? They deserve this loss. Yeah, yeah, I'm with you. Hubert Thompson then goes to his shit pen after leaving all the runners on base. Every rally racked by Real Muto, who didn't hit till the ninth. Stott needs to stop golfing. Another over. Ross and Banks are worthless. Absolutely. The whole bullpen. Phillips, DFA by the Phillies, ripped them a joke. They gave up momentum by errors, bad management, bad calls. Fire this effing joke. And that's what you may get. That's what you may get tonight. No, probably not. But in that fifth inning, Phillies took the lead off of some pretty good base hits, some pretty good singles, right? Schwarber had a single, Rojas had a single, but even Rojas, even when he does something good, he screws it up, and it's like he can't help himself. It was stupid for trying to extend the play going to second. Should have just stayed on first. You would have eventually been another run through. The Schwarber would have gotten you in, as he did later on. Marsh, he drove in Marsh, I believe. Marsh is on an 8-game hit streak, but all for nothing. I mean, if that you get that one extra run, they only get 4, and you lose 8-4. Um, yeah, Tanner Banks, as Hubert said, racing stable, as he was saying. This is a bad bullpen. Ross and Banks was not it. I mean, Banks, he came in and he stunk it up. He had 2 guys on. Those 2 guys came in, and you had Kepler dropping that ball and the sand pointing up to the lights, and Nick makes that catch, right? So it just bad management overall. Ross, he then comes in the 7th, gives up a bomb to Jesus Sanchez. It makes it 6-3. And then what? And you had the home run. You had the homer in the 8th. It was bad. The bats came alive on Mercado for the Marlins, and it was just their night. And they feasted off of what I think was the bigger story. What didn't have to be the bigger story was the benching of Nick Castellanos. And I think it was felt throughout the locker room, throughout the clubhouse. It didn't need to be on the front page of really baseball right now. I saw something on ESPN. They were talking about it. I mean, it's not what you need, especially in the middle of a 5-game, what was a 5-game winning streak. Star Wars Turner is hot. Yeah, he's hot right now. He's as what what Will Ferrell's character in what is it, Zoolander said about, he's so hot right now. Hans Turner, that Trey Turner right now. But all for nothing on a night where he hit a home run. What was his line? 2 for 4. Had the homer. He had a single in the 8th. You thought that they were going to get going. You thought Real Muto had the hit in the 9th. Turner led off in the 8th, and he had the hit. He had the leadoff hit. You thought they could have got something going, but just a bad night. Bad night with Rojas. A night where Rojas doesn't need to be in the lineup, right? How do you guys feel? Those of you guys who are watching, how do you guys feel about his suspension? Should it have been, I mean, not suspension, him getting benched and sat tonight? What was it? 236 consecutive starts gone. I think he could have been fined. Was Thompson mad because I saw something that his Rob Thompson's family was there in Miami, and maybe whatever Nick said, Rob got butthurt that he said it in front of his family, and that he showed him up in front of it. But I feel like this Rob created even more controversy than this needed to be. This could have been held in-house, but the more and more I think about it, I mean, the more and more I just want him fired. Bring in someone new. I don't know. I don't care who it is anymore. I think Nick's bat and his defense was missed tonight in this lineup. They messed with the lineup. It messed having Rojas in. Yeah, he had the RBI single, but then, like I said, Rojas, what he giveth, and then he taketh away with then horrible base running. This is one of the worser loss. One of the more worser. Is that a word? This is one of the more worse losses for the Phillies. I feel like this season during a 5-game win streak that ends. Where do you go from here? How do you bounce back? What is the locker room? Because all the questions are going to be about, really not about this loss. It's going to be about Nick and the benching, right? It's not going to be about, Luzardo's pretty bad showing. It's not going to be about, where's Bryce at in the recovery process? When's he coming back? It's all going to be negative stuff that didn't need to be. It's bad management, period, and it's time. They need 3 bullpen pieces and 2 outfielders and a manager. They need too much. They need too much, and if it doesn't start getting addressed soon, now, yesterday, you're gonna have nights like this. Shouldn't be losing against teams like this. The Phillies are too freaking talented to be losing games like this. The only one really hitting is Turner. Yeah, I mean, Marsh is on his 8-game hit streak, but Bohm has increased his batting average up. But, realistically, right now, it is just Turner. End a player streak by benching. Stupid. This is bad. And what did Nick say? You sit me to play over. Yeah, I really wish we knew what was exactly said, because to get benched, and like you're saying, to ruin a player's streak that is up there, the longest since Pete Rose for the Phillies. It's I wish we knew exactly what was said. Let's bench Thompson forever. Barb chiming in. How are you doing tonight? Steve, MLB players starting 160 games a year is not uncommon. Let's not make it out to be some historical story. I'm not saying that. But it's the reasoning why the streak ended. I think this could have been a fine, and if he was like performing really, really, really bad, sure. Like I can imagine a benching, but up and down the lineup, there's been guys who have performed bad, and Rob has kept them in. So whatever was said, for him to bench him and to take the streak away that he does have going on, and to take him out of the lineup, it had to have been something pretty personal. I feel like Stott sucks. Accept it. It's real. He does. He's not hitting well. He did have his little thing going on in the leadoff spot for a little bit, but that faded off, and that's Turner's spot. That's where Turner should be. But unfortunately, I think tonight the bigger story is going to be more about Nick's benching, and Rob's going to be questioned about that, and Nick will be questioned about that. I'm sure players are going to be questioned about that, and that's the part that I think is could have been avoided. Could have been avoided. Bouncing back from a loss is not. It's not. This is a weird loss, though. This is it didn't have to be. I don't think it needed to be a loss. It was bad management. This team was doing well. 5-game win streak. I don't think he needed to go about it this way, because it's just it's a distraction. It's an unnecessary distraction. It's already a ESPN headline on one of their little tickers that he got benched for inappropriate comments and everything like that. So they had to have been super inappropriate. Hubert, no more JT and Luzardo. You want everyone gone. Hubert's done with everybody. Get him out of here. Somebody said the other day that Kepler was a great player. He has his moments. I think he's great. Rotational guy to bring in. Doubleheader sort of day. He's great for that. He'll give you a home run, but Nick's making that catch in the out in right field. He's not dropping that. The other day they left Cassidy in late innings so he could stat pad, so I'm not worried about it. Yeah, but this was now I feel like, yeah, Nick probably crossed the line by going up to his boss essentially and his manager and speaking his mind. But again, I just think it could have been handled differently. He could have gone about it differently for sure. But that's where I think fine him. But to take him out of the lineup, here, this was a forced disruption of the clubhouse. Yeah, absolutely. And it's time for him to go. That's why. It's time for him to go. Barb Thompson is a fool for years, though, and we're over it. I'm over it. Hubert's over it. I know a lot of the fan base is over it. Hubert says Luzardo is fine. It's the best catcher in baseball. I'm done with. Hubert's done with a lot of people. This one hurt. This one hurt you tonight, Hubert. This one hurt you tonight. This one hurt tonight. Snaps the 5-game win streak. But it'll be interesting to see how they come out tomorrow. What type of lineup? I hope they're able to put this behind them and put the locker room issues behind them. But I feel like it's going to be a continuous story that doesn't need to be. Let's get into the Broad Street. All right, and tonight's Broad Street bottom line is Rob Thompson's bad manager. Dumb decisions, and they led to unforced errors that didn't need to be. Rojas didn't need to be out there in center field tonight. Nick could have been out there. Could have been a fine. Could have been something that stayed in-house. Instead, it was the talk of the night once it got broke that he wasn't going to be in the lineup and that his streak was going to be broken and that the comments were said in the dugout, the inappropriate ones, and What was exactly said, who knows? But Robbie got it. Robbie got hurt. Um, and his feelings got hurt. Castellanos said he accepts it. It is what it is, and we're going to go from there. But we'll see. We'll see what type of atmosphere this creates, what type of message this sends, if it's going to be a positive one, if the players respond well to it, or if this is something that creates a division, if this is the last straw uh, for for Rob. But I have a feeling he's going to be okay. Or the best catcher in baseball, plays for the Dodgers. Yeah, he definitely doesn't play here. Definitely does not play here. It did. You're right. F that asshat. Yeah. Uh, I'm feeling for you. Feeling for you, Hubert. 162 games though. So what do they move? The 40 and 30. What do we got? Who do we got for game 3? Take a look at. So we got Mike, game 3 of the series, and Matty B, who's going to be following me. Should be at his normal time with the way this one ended early. Thank God. Thank God it ended early. Um, put us out of our misery early. But we'll have Matty B on the call to finish it up on Thursday. Rob, we hit the ball good tonight. Oh, okay. You're talking about his post conference interview. Rob, we hit the ball good tonight. No, you didn't. What game is he watching? I mean, if he only watched the 5th inning, if he watched the 5th inning, then yeah, they hit the ball well. But no, they what 8 hits, 8 hits tonight. Most of them came in that 5th inning, in that 4th and 5th inning um between Turner and Turner's homer, and then you had Schwarber. Um, Marsh had a hit, and then you had Turner and JT's hit. It's sad when you can go back and count and think about the hits that they had. Miami had 13 hits. That 6th, 7th, and 8th inning. And the bullpen, lack thereof, came in. Um, yeah, no, this is I don't know what Rob. I don't know. He must have been just talking about the 5th inning. Hubert, but I'm so over him too, dude. I'm so over him. He needs to go. Steve, I was going to ask you if Maddie was doing a show tonight. I keep checking. I never see him on. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm usually knocked out by the time his shows come on. I like to be in bed early, but I don't know. I'm hoping he's on. I'm hoping he's on tonight. um, well, what else? What else? Let's go while we're talking about the other shows. Let's go around and talk about what else we have on the network. Thursday, you have myself and Pat. I had to work this last Thursday, but myself and Pat be I'll be back. We'll be talking Union on the Attacking Third every Thursday, 9 p.m. Union had a big win this last Saturday. They're off this Saturday, but we'll be recapping that one. And then Pat, he's everywhere. The Gobbler, the wraparound, 10:30 Friday, ending the week that was in Philadelphia and bringing you into the weekend. And then Sunday mornings, Pat and Mike, P and M in the AM, I believe, in our group chat. They're talking about having they're having a special guest on this Sunday to kind of talk of the Phillies and Mets series, and then of course Sunday through Thursday, 10 p.m., 10:30 if the final goes long. You got the final word with Matty B. Talking all things Matty B's way. No homerism with Matty B. And then we already went over the rest of the Fightins final for the rest of this series. Let's do this. Let's go around the bases and talk about these other scores around the league. All right, a lot of baseball on tonight. The games, there's only 2 that have gone final. We just talked about one of them. Marlins beat up on the Phillies 8-3. Tigers and Pirates, their final. Tigers beat the Pirates 7-3. Not a good night for the state of Pennsylvania. And then we got a lot of games going on right now. Rockies and Nationals. Rockies are beating up on the Nats 10-2, bottom of the 9th. Angels shutting out the Yankees right now, 4-0, top of the 9th. Diamondbacks and Jays. Blue Jays are in a close one. They just finished the 7th. Diamondbacks are up 4-3. The Reds have a 1-run lead over the Twins, bottom of the 6th. Mets trying to extend their lead over the Phillies. They're up on the Braves right now, 4-1, bottom of the 6th, 2 outs. Orioles and the Rays. Orioles are up 4-1. That one's in the 7th. Cardinals and White Sox. Cardinals are up 8-2 in the 7th. And the Royals have the 5-run lead on the Rangers, 6-1 in the 6th. And the Brewers are down 4-2 to the Cubs. That one is in the 5th. And the games that are not haven't started yet, the nightcap, you got the Red Sox and Mariners, Guardians and the Giants, Astros, Athletics, and the Padres, and who Barb says has the best catcher in baseball, the Dodgers, who I agree. They're on TBS as Barb, right on cue, Barb. They're on TBS at 10 p.m. So those of you who like to stay up late, catch them. But the Union, they are tearing it up this season. Best team in the league. They made some changes, some coaching changes, and they added some new players. And this is what it is. This is what happens when you get rid of your coach who couldn't cut it, couldn't bring you what you need. This is what happens. You can move up, and that's what the Union are doing. They're having a hell of a year. So, Hubert, get a good night's sleep. They'll be back tomorrow night. Excellent show as always. Agreed. Time to fire. Yep. Time to go. And that's going to be it. That's going to be time for me to go. Hopefully Matty B is on tonight. Thank you everyone for tuning in, for your comments. Phillies lose 8-3, and I believe I moved to what? I think I might be 5-5 now, either 5-4 or 5-5 on Tuesday. Not good. Just 500. Night, Barb. Have a good one. All right, folks. That's going to do it for me. Everyone have a good night, and I am out.